Good evening, good evening, good evening. Thank you for joining me this evening. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for joining me. This is my live broadcast, and we all have listened to the leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu live broadcast, and he touched a lot of things. A lot of things he touched, a lot of things he explained, and most of them, some of them, I want to bring the evidence of some of the things he said in his just concluded live broadcast. So welcome to join me this evening. This is the continuation of creating awareness for Nigeria disintegration, awareness for Biafra freedom, why you can no longer continue to hope and support one Nigeria, awareness to tell you that Nigeria is collapsing, awareness to tell you that Nigeria has collapsed, awareness to tell you that Nigeria existence is just beginning as we speak. The existence of Nigeria is ending, and they have beginning to reject Nigeria among the Committee of Nations. They are not accepting Nigeria anymore, as you all have seen and read in so many news. First of all, before the World Bank, the IMF, the African Development Bank, all of them rejected Nigeria request for loan. That shows a lot of concern, of course, to those who are shouting one Nigeria, who do not understand the implication of those decisions. When Nigeria was rejected, when their loan request was rejected, prompting them to approach China before the outbreak of this coronavirus. And now, when the coronavirus actually hit Africa, or Nigeria to be precise, the World Bank released a fund, and Nigeria was also excluded in that fund. So that should show you, that should prove to you that the campaign for Biafra referendum, the campaign for Biafra freedom, the campaign for Nigeria disintegration is not something that is a joke. Everything we are doing, the exposition we are doing, the way we are exposing Nigeria to the world powers are listening to us. The world powers are watching all these videos we are releasing, all these things that you are seeing today on social media that were not there before. That people are not reporting. The world are watching them, and they are taking all necessary step to stop Nigeria from being a country that will be recognized, or being a country that should be having anything to do with other countries and other world leaders, especially the leaders from Nigeria. So it is very, very important. Most of you should know this, that continue to support Nigeria is delaying Nigeria disintegration, and delay is dangerous. Delay is dangerous. International community knows that Nigeria is going down. International community knows that Nigeria is collapsing, and even the coronavirus, whether it kills people in Aso Rock or whether it doesn't kill anybody in Aso Rock, cannot stop Nigeria from disintegrating. And your support today, even the little support you are giving to Nigeria, is delaying that disintegration. You that is a government official, you that is a politician, the little support you are giving to Nigeria is delaying the disintegration. But that will not stop the disintegration of Nigeria. No matter how you are going to support Nigeria, it will not stop Nigeria from disintegrating. It will only have a little delay, which has already happened, and now Nigeria is going down. So this evening, I will start by bringing to us some of this vital information that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu mentioned in his broadcast. But I will start by this. You see, when you don't understand the implication of giving power, nuclear power, to countries that are sponsoring terrorists or sponsoring terrorism, you don't understand the implication of allowing countries who do not have value for human dignity to control some powerful biological weapon. And this is the reason why most of you don't understand why America has become the world power. America president is like president of the world. And that is why most of you will be surprised. Why is America prognosing in other countries' affair, in other sovereign states and all that? It is because of what I'm about to explain to you now. You see, let us use what happened in China now as a case study. When you look at what happened in China, this coronavirus, according to the information from of course the researched and confirmed information, is that it was chemical leak from the research center in Wuhan, in China, and that is a biological weapon from the research center. And of course, a lot of people have this kind of opinion that China used this to suppress other world economy, other world powers, and all that. That cannot completely be ruled out. So this is the reason why America is policing every country. You see, when any country, including in Nigeria, when they come to tell you from the presidency of Nigeria this year have come to say who gave America police of the world, who gave America police of the world. And that will make you understand that the people that are leading you in Nigeria are all criminals, they are all fools, they are all done this, they don't know anything. Because if somebody like Femi Adesina, who according to him was supposed to be a journalist, meaning that he should be doing a lot of research, at least, or the one called Minister of Information that is lying, and at least somebody in the presidency, if they cannot understand the role America is playing in international politics, in Committee of Nations, then it is very, very shameful that they will come and be part of a governing government, and they are actually making the image of the government of Nigeria, like they are promoting the image of government of Nigeria, and they can come to tell you that who made America police of the world. So why I'm trying to make this is that I'm coming to make a very big point now. Now, if America is not police of the world, if America is not prognosing in other countries, you see what happened in China now that you have this coronavirus. You see, the world would have ended, because a lot of countries that want to develop nuclear weapon and they are supporting terrorists and they are supporting terrorism, they would have been using the chemical weapon on you, on those of you. Syria, Iran, for example, Iran would have been using their chemical weapon on every enemy, every perceived enemy, or on any country. You see, and that is why America will never allow them to have a breathing space, because the America know that these countries are sponsoring terrorists and they are sponsoring terrorism, and those countries cannot be trusted with such power, with such chemical power, weapon and biological weapon and or what have you. So you can never trust them. The same thing is applicable to China. Now, as you see, China that somehow to some extent, has been trusted to the extent that they have weapons and all that. You see, this thing has been done on purpose to weaken the world economy and make China economy stronger than others. Now, China, this simple or this small leakage of this virus from this research center in Wuhan has now put to the entire world in a very big and high risk. You see? Now, and that was the reason why America invaded Iraq, believing that Iraq was developing some chemical weapon. At the end of the day, no chemical weapon was found in Iraq. It is because of this, America was, working ahead of time. And at the end of the day, it was lie. It was lie that no chemical weapon was found in Iraq. But because of the nature of the government of Iraq, possibly sponsoring terrorists and allowing the terrorists to use the chemical weapon to fight the entire world, to fight Western world, that was the reason why America invaded Iraq. But that is by the way. Now, how does this connect to Nigeria? How does this connect to Nigeria? It connects to Nigeria because you that is supporting Nigeria today, Nigeria is major sponsor of terrorism. Nigeria is major sponsor of terrorists. Nigeria government are sponsoring 5 different terrorist groups in the same country. So why does this concern? Why does this issue now has to do with Nigeria? It has to do with Nigeria because international community should now learn from what happens in China. International community should learn from what happened in China, that now China cannot be trusted. Everybody knows that. The same way Nigeria government cannot be trusted. And it is the sign is everybody, the international community are now showing openly that they no longer trust Nigeria. And because they no longer trust Nigeria, that is why we are shouting for disintegration and division and freedom of Biafra. Because if we don't get Biafra, you continue to support this one Nigeria, and this terrorist in Nigeria ended up having total control of the natural resources in Nigeria. Because that is their target. The target of the terrorists now is the natural resources in the western part of in the southern part of Nigeria. Now, if they end up having the power over total control of these natural resources, like this petrol and crude oil and what have you, do you know it is now a danger, a very serious danger to the Western world? Because what they will be doing is now, when they have total control of these natural resources, they will now begin to sponsor and export terrorists and then sponsoring attack to the Western world. What is happening is not just Nigeria, it's not just Biafra alone. So it is something that will end up affecting the European Union, it will end up affecting America, it will end up affecting developed countries. So if they don't put a stop to Nigeria now, Nigeria will end up becoming more dangerous than even Iran. So that is why we are calling on international community, as we are making this revelation exposition, they should deeply look into the disintegration of Nigeria as soon as possible to avoid, because when we are shouting this now, it is not just us, it is going to affect them, and it is going to even affect them more, because by the time Nigeria begins with this government now, the way they are building the whole system, by the time they begin to export or sponsor terrorist attack in Western world, it will be more deadlier than what they have ever witnessed or seen. It will be more deadly because now they are sponsoring all the terrorists in the Arab country. They are all now in West Africa fighting for this ISIS West Africa, and they are being sponsored by the government of Nigeria. So it is very important that Nigeria is disintegrated to stop what is going to happen in future, because immediately they have control over the natural resources, then every other terrorist will come and they will groom them in Nigeria and export them to the Western world to go and start carrying mayhem. You may ask me, this is what I'm telling you today, today's date, go and mark it. We don't pray that Nigeria continue to be one to prove me wrong or to prove me right. Of course, we don't wait for that, and I'm not praying for that. But what I'm telling you now, if Nigeria is not disintegrated, this is going to be the outcome at the end of the day. Now, every one of you remember the guy called Abdul Muttalib. Abdul Muttalib, from the northern Nigeria, he was trained in Yemen and all that. From Nigeria airport, international airport in Nigeria, he scaled through with a bomb, trying to bomb the airline going to America. You see? And it was with the help of those in the airport who could not detect that somebody was having explosive with him. So had it been that the explosive ended up exploding, nobody will know what happened. But as God does his own thing, the bomb did not explode, and he was arrested. And he's a Nigerian, and he was trained just to go to America and kill. So this scenario of this Abu Muttalib is something that is going to be happening if Nigeria is not disintegrated. It will be that Nigeria government will be sponsoring the terrorists with the money from the natural resources in the southern part of Nigeria. And this is why everybody, the entire world, the international community must know it is not just about sidelining Nigeria or by boycotting everything about Nigeria like they are doing now. That is a good sign, of course. We are, for those of you who are saying, when is Biafra, like when you hear Nnamdi Kanu, when you people come to say, when is the Biafra coming, they are killing us, we are just laughing because there is no amount of pressure you can give us to fall off the track and the path we are following. There is no amount of pressure. Like he said, most of you are paid to come to page and start saying, they are killing our people. When are we starting? When are we starting? Those kind of things, like I've always said all the time, those kind of words, those kind of comments don't move us because we are focused. If you feel that you want to fight, you want to carry AK-47, you can carry AK-47, but that cannot, your comments and your pressure cannot, push us off balance. We know exactly what we're doing, and we will do it until the right time. Where the right time come, but it cannot come from the pressure that is coming from you, because most of you don't even believe in Biafra. Most of you that are coming on to pages to comment, when are we fighting, when are we killing them, if you go to the different pages, you will see that you have nothing to show that you are even supporting disintegration of Nigeria. You have nothing to show that you are even supporting Biafra. Even if you have, most of you are fake. So those kind of comments don't move us, and of course we normally see them. So now I will take you to the analysis of what I have this evening, especially when I will start from this coronavirus and how it is important for you to understand the role America is playing to make the world a better place. For those of you who always get upset, especially anybody supporting this government now can never like America. That is one. If you see anybody that is supporting this government in Nigeria, they never like America. And that is to show you that when you support this government, it means that you have, if you are supporting Nigeria, it means you have sold your soul to the devil, and you can never appreciate and like good things. And those kind of things, those kind of people, you can never see them supporting America. No, never. Because they know the role America is playing to make sure they bring this government to its knee when the time comes. So now, what I'm about to show you now is the latest now. As you can see, this is a news about concerning the British. The China must pay British 351 billion pounds in coronavirus damages. Report call for UN to step in. So when you look at this, this report, you find out that, of course, coronavirus is not just a negligence from the Chinese people. It is not just negligence. It is something that have been planned, and a lot of investigation have revealed that it was planned. And this is the reason why America is policing the world. And you can see today, so some people have been arrested in the U.S. Alleged to be involved in this research and in this scandal. So they have been arrested and they are being investigated. And the professor could face about 65 years in prison if found guilty. So this is the reason why when you see America going to some country to poke nose into their business, into their affair, they are trying to make the world a better place. And that is when they are going to come to Nigeria. Those of you who will be condemning them, that what is America doing, like this Femi Adesina and Garobashe, all of them who don't know anything about international politics, they will come to say they are not answerable to anybody. Nigeria is answerable to somebody. Nigeria is answerable to some people, and when the time comes, you will see who they are answerable to. So we will prove them that they are answerable to people, because this global, or the politics we are living in, and this government, even though you have sovereign state and all that, you are answerable to some certain people and to some certain power. And America happens to be that one of the power that you are answerable to. Now, the next thing I want to show you is the World Bank. This is the World Bank, like you can see. Like you can see here, World Bank exclude Nigeria from its $9.1 billion COVID-19 response fund. So when you look at this, you will find out that Nigeria is going down. And this is one of the things Nnamdi Kanu spoke about during his concluded live broadcast. So here is the evidence that the World Bank Board of Executive Director excluded Nigeria from the list of 25 countries that will benefit from its $1.9 billion first set of the emergency support operation for nations that had been affected by the coronavirus pandemic. So when you look at this, you find out that Nigeria is no longer among the Committee of Nations, and that is the job we, the Biafra agitators, has been doing, exposing them, and Nigeria has been reduced to zero. When you hear Mazi Nnamdi Kanu telling you that he will destroy Nigeria, he has already destroyed Nigeria from its foundation. Nigeria has been destroyed. This is the first time in the history of that country that first Nigeria has been given a entry ban, traveling ban to the United States for those who want to have a stay in the United States. Nigeria has been excluded in the G20, the last G20 meeting on this coronavirus. President Trump did not even mention Nigeria, not to talk of Nigeria leaders. And other African countries were mentioned, but not Nigeria. So Nigeria has been, sidelined by the world powers. And this is a very strong message. And for those of you who are shouting Nigeria is going to get better, you should be very, very worried now, because this is not a good sign. This is not a good sign at all. If it is time for you to turn your back now before it is too late, because when you begin to see this kind of report, a lot of things has happened now. If I begin to give you a list of what they have done to Nigeria, you will never believe it, but it is happening and it is real. So Nigeria has been excluded from this. Remember that Nigeria has been reporting the cases of coronavirus and what have you, and today the World Bank have rejected Nigeria. This is not the first time they are rejecting Nigeria. World Bank has rejected their loan request. They ran to Africa Development Bank, even the bank in Africa, not to talk of the in the developed world, the bank in Africa called Africa Development Bank. After World Bank rejected their loan, they ran to Africa Development Bank. Africa Development Bank rejected another loan. They ran to IMF. They rejected it before they now go to China for this 22.7 billion you heard about, before they go to China. So everybody have rejected Nigeria because they know, one, Nigeria have no government. The people parading themselves as government are actually terrorists, sponsoring terrorism. So they know that every money given to Nigeria will be channeled to sponsoring the activities of the terrorist group. And the world has opened their eye to see. So the next thing now is everybody just cool down and watch as we destroy Nigeria, and Nigeria will be disintegrated at the end of the day. And remember, whatever we are doing, nothing is propaganda, nothing is lie. That is one good thing about this whole thing. We are not making fake news about Nigeria. We are not selling fake news to the world that, oh, this is Nigeria, meanwhile it is fake. Whatever we are saying, whatever we are bringing online, whatever we are bringing to the entire world are fact, real fact, nothing like fake. So this is even the more interesting part. The more interesting part of it is this, that nothing we can bring to you that will be fake. Everything is authentic and real. And the world has beginning to be outraged by the level of rottenness in Nigeria, and that is why they are sidelining Nigeria. And the next thing you will be hearing now, after our 1 million march in the United States of America, that will be the end of Nigeria. Go and mark it. Immediately we finish that 1 million march in the United States of America, that will be the end of Nigeria. Now, let me now take you to what happened for when we are talking about Nigeria sponsoring terrorism and sponsoring a terrorist group, including the Nigerian army. We are not just saying it because we want to say it. Now, look at this. The news. First of all, you remember that Chadian soldiers were pulled out of Nigeria. In January this year. They pulled them out of Nigeria January this year, and then after they pulled the Chadian soldiers out of Nigeria in January this year. Now, the question you should be asking yourself is that How did this president of Chad led the soldiers to go to Boko Haram in Sabisa Forest and kill them? According to the news report that we are getting now, one thing is this: now Nigeria have no president, Nigeria have no chief of staff, Nigeria have no leader. So there is nobody actually. Those who would have confronted them not to go, those who would have confronted them not to go and fight Boko Haram are no longer active. And that was the reason why the Chadian president or Chadian soldier can boldly lead their army into Nigeria territory, and fight Boko Haram and go without anything from approval from the Nigeria soldier, because they left in January from this joint task force, like all of you know. So now I'm going to show you when the Chad soldiers left Nigeria. Now watch this. As you can see, this is the news report. Chad troop leave Nigeria with Boko Haram mission over. And this is in January 2020. So if Chad soldier left Nigeria in January and the mission of Boko Haram is over, why would you now think that Chad will now go and start killing Boko Haram yesterday or 2 days ago? That is the question. Why do you think after they left Nigeria in January 2020, why would Chad now return back to Nigeria without the knowledge or approval of the Nigeria military? At least nobody have said anything about them. Now here, this report said the Chadian soldiers free Nigeria soldiers in Boko Haram captivity. You remember when I told you people on the 22nd, in fact on the 22nd, 23rd, on the 22nd of March, a lot of Nigerian military were killed, and it was not reported anywhere, including until today. I was the one who made that claim that hundreds of Nigerian soldiers were killed, or about 30 something were killed, and so many of them were captured by Boko Haram members on the 22nd of March 2020. And nobody aired that news. No mainstream media in Nigeria aired that news. And Nigeria military on the 23rd, the Boko Haram also attacked them. On the 23rd of March, Boko Haram also attacked them, ambushed them, and killed about 200 of them, 200 of the Nigeria military. But of course, they came to announce 47. They came to announce 47, that 47 soldier has been killed. And that was a lie, because actually when the Boko Haram ambushed them, they started searching for the corpses of those soldiers. So they were picking the corpses and they were counting, and at the end of the day they counted about 47 or something or so. They came to, or 70 or so, they came to say they have found 70, and then later on they came to give a different figure and all that. But I am telling Nigerians, on that particular attack that occurred on the 23rd of March 2020, it was over 200 soldiers that were killed. Over 200 of soldiers of the Nigerian military. Now, and apart from that, they also captured some of the soldiers. They abducted some of the soldiers alive. They captured them alive. Now, you should ask, the question you should be asking yourself is, since Nigerian military claim no soldier has been captured, how did the Chadian military, Chadian soldiers release captive Nigerian military? How? Where did how did the Nigerian military now ended up in Boko Haram captive? That is a very good question everybody should be asking. Because I told you people, when those soldiers were captured, I told you that very soon they will bring those soldiers to be killed. But now the Chadian soldiers, led by their own president, went and killed Boko Haram and released the Nigeria soldiers that were in captive of Boko Haram. So since Nigeria military have not come to tell anybody that their soldiers are missing, that soldiers has been captured by Boko Haram. When and where did these soldiers, how did they get into the hand of Boko Haram? This is the question every Nigeria should now be asking the Nigerian military, because they have never come to say some soldiers has been captured. They have never come to tell you that their soldiers are missing. They have never come to tell you that Boko Haram captured Nigeria soldiers. So where and when and how did these people that the Chad soldier released or freed from Boko Haram captive, how did they capture them? This is a question. And I am telling you now, on the occasion when these soldiers were captured by Boko Haram, Nigerian military denied it. But today, the Chadian soldiers have gone and they fought Boko Haram and they have freed Nigerian soldiers. It is there. Now, watch again. Let me read it to you. So, the Chadian troop have again dealt a major blow on Boko Haram insurgents. This followed a killing of 100 of its members in Magumeri, a local government in the northern part of Borno. Now, if Chad soldiers can come into Nigeria, fight this Boko Haram like this, killed 100 of them, meanwhile, you should be asking yourself, where is the Nigerian military? Where is the Nigerian military? Nowhere to be found. Somebody came from another country to come into your territory and kill the terrorists you are fighting in hundreds, and then freed your own soldiers, the soldiers of Nigerian army, the soldiers from Nigeria. You killed, they killed the Boko Haram, freed the Nigerian soldiers, and went back to their country. Isn't that a shame? Doesn't that show you, those of you who are shouting one Nigeria, that Nigeria is going to be better? Doesn't it, what else do you want that to prove? What kind of proof do you want to see that Nigeria is already dead? What you are seeing now is just the sign of a dying horse. Nigeria is dead. What proof do you want to see again? What do you want to see again to see that Nigeria is going to work? You see, you have hundreds and hundreds of or thousands of military men who are going to Boko Haram, who are fighting in the northeast of Nigeria. They have never for one day took this war to Boko Haram then in Sambisa forest, always on the defense, waiting for Boko Haram to attack them first before they defend. But now, Chad soldiers came into Nigeria, probably unannounced. They came into Nigeria, they went to Sambisa forest and fought Boko Haram and killed hundreds of them. After killing them, they freed your own soldier, Nigeria soldier that Nigeria military could not free. You see, Nigerian military that are sponsoring Boko Haram, of course, how can they free those soldiers? And when you check the names and the information of the soldiers that are freed, you find out that they are from the southern part of Nigeria. They are from the southern part of Nigeria. But of course, probably they will make that information known. So Nigerian military could not rescue their own soldiers, but a Chad, ordinary Chad, came to Nigeria, killed terrorists and rescued Nigeria soldiers that are in captive. And Nigeria soldiers never admitted that Boko Haram captured them. This is my only concern. This is why I'm making this comment, because I told you that when Boko Haram attacked and captured Nigeria military, I came on my page, made a live video, told you that they have captured Nigeria military. And Nigeria military denied it. They denied that nobody captured anybody. When and where did this Boko Haram capture these ones now that were freed by Chad soldiers? That is the question I want every Nigerian to be asking on social media. Any place you are, on Twitter, on social media, start asking this question. Where and when did Boko Haram capture these soldiers that were released by Chadian military men? Now, that is not enough. When you look at after they have left Nigeria, they came to fight Boko Haram, and then as you can see, Boko Haram kills almost 100 soldiers in 7-hour attack in Chad. You see, so this happened on the 25th of March 2020. Boko Haram killed Chadian soldiers. You see. After they killed Chadian soldiers, the Chadian president got very angry, and that is how, even though I don't like the president of the Chad, because they are all the same, he is the one who was supporting the present government of Nigeria. Although of course he know Nigeria don't have government, So the president of Chad knows that Nigeria doesn't have government at the moment, and that is why he can personally lead the army of Chad into Nigeria. Tell them that, come, follow me. I will lead you into Nigeria. Nigeria don't have government. We will do anything we want there, even though they come to fight terrorists and all that, without due process. We will do anything we want to do there and leave, and nobody will do anything. And that is what has happened now. And he led the army into Nigeria, led them into Boko Haram in Sambisa forest, and they killed hundreds of them and rescued Nigerian military. And that were captured. So after Boko Haram killing 100 soldiers in 7-hour attack in Chad, they decided to take the war to Boko Haram in Sambisa forest. And this video, I'm going to show you the video now of them after winning the war. I will show you the video now. After winning the war on Boko Haram, this is.
Trying to contain the
one moment. You see? One moment. Yes, one moment. So I'm going to show you the video after they dealt with Boko Haram. Of course, somebody was. You can see the video when they were videoing them, they were jubilating and all that. That is how to know when somebody actually mean business or fighting terrorists. It is not just by going to make noise. This is them. This is Chadian soldier in Nigeria soil. In Nigeria soil. And Nigerian military is nowhere to be found.
This one are Chadian soldiers. Chadian. They all go advance.
You see? And that is to show you when the country, when nobody has given Boko Haram information that they are coming. You see? When nobody gave Boko Haram information that they are coming, they can kill Boko Haram up to 100 of them, and even went as far as freeing Nigerian military that were held captive by Boko Haram, because nobody gave the Boko Haram information that they were coming. If they had informed Nigerian military, if they had informed Nigerian army, this Nigerian military that they were coming, for example, if they have informed Nigerian military and asked Nigerian military to come, let us collaborate and go to kill Boko Haram in Sambisa forest, believe me, all these people you see would have been dead by now, because Boko Haram would have ambushed them and killed them. And that is what is going on. So when we are telling you that Nigeria has come to that level of irredeemable, you think we are joking. The earlier you abandon Nigeria, the better for you. So if they have informed Nigerian military that they are coming to Nigeria to kill Boko Haram member, by now they will all be dead. They will all be dead. All be dead. So now, like I said, another thing I want to show you is this. One moment. So after they have killed, when Nnamdi Kanu tell you to go to what he called hyper realistic mask, trying to expose that the person in Aso Rock is not Buhari. I want to show you people, in case you can go there and see for yourself how this kind of mask work. So the claim of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu cannot be totally ruled out until Buhari come to start to address, or the man called Buhari come to start to address Nigeria as a human being. If he begin to do what human being does, if he begin to do what Buhari does, then this claim, or it means that we cannot take the claim of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu serious. But for now, I am calling everybody to take the claim of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu very seriously, because you cannot totally rule that out until Buhari, or the man parading himself as Buhari, begin to act otherwise. Now, here is the site. When you look at this, you see the mask of the plastic or the plastic mask, or what is it called, and this is of course made with silicone. So somebody can actually make your mask, and you can never know which one is your real face and which one is not your real face. So when you have this kind of mask, you can never know whether the person is you or not. And coupled with the fact that you can have somebody who mimic you, and then they call it double, doubling the person. And so this kind of mask, and even here Buhari himself is here somewhere. When you look, I think the face of Buhari is somewhere here. When you look here, you see Buhari face is here in this place. Of course, this is just a drawing, ordinary drawing art, but it is in this site, as you can see. So all these things you are looking at is mask. This one is mask, and you can't differentiate these marks from the real person in question. All these things you are looking at, they are all mask, and they are real. Look at Putin. Look at President Putin. The mask is real. This is President Putin mask. And then you see this is Trump mask. It is real. You can't differentiate them. And this is this one as well, if you see. So all these things are something that should be taken very, very seriously until the president begin to do something that he normally does, from 2015 to 2017 or 16. So it cannot totally be ruled out. So today you have seen that if Nigeria military are ready to fight Boko Haram, if Nigeria is not sponsoring Boko Haram and the terrorist organization in Nigeria, you can tell me what stops them from carrying out attack against the terrorist group in their own country, in their own territory, and Chadian soldiers can come into Nigeria and kill hundreds and even free their own soldiers that they never admitted that they were in captive of Boko Haram. So I want every Nigeria from today, tomorrow, start the hashtag Nigeria military should come and tell when these people were abducted by Boko Haram members, how and why nobody knew and nobody heard about Nigeria army being captive in Boko Haram there. It is a question and a task I am giving everybody this evening. And also remember, when Nnamdi Kanu told you all to go to invade Twitter, it is very important. We don't want to spare these people at all. It's very, very important. Go to Twitter by tomorrow, because tomorrow I am having my normal live broadcast. I will be coming with a mind-blowing information tomorrow. So join my live broadcast tomorrow as I will be tearing Nigeria apart. I will be tearing Nigeria apart tomorrow on some important information that I will be giving to you. Also, I will be picking on one of the aide to the president of Nigeria, probably tomorrow or sometime this week. I will be tearing Garba Shehu into pieces. I will be piecing Garba Shehu, who is the spokesperson of the president or the presidency. So join me sometime this week as I will make it rain on Garba Shehu. This is to just let you know the kind of people that are speaking on behalf of the presidency. All you have is crook. The people speaking on behalf of the presidency and all the people working in this government are all crook, all criminals, and they can never be trusted, and that is why the entire world are now rejecting Nigeria. They are now rejecting Nigeria, and we will continue to expose them to make sure none of them have any shame to stand in Committee of Nations and talk anymore until Nigeria is disintegrated. And remember, the 1 million march still stand until further notice. Nnamdi Kanu will give official broadcast if there is a change in that date on the 20th of June 2020. For now, let us see what coronavirus have in stock, whether the time is going to be changed or the date is going to be changed or not. If the date is changed, it will be announced by Mazi Nnamdi Kanu on Radio Biafra. And after that, remember, if you don't like the killings, the ethnic cleansing going on in Nigeria, try to prepare yourself to join that 1 million march as a Yoruba person, as a Biafran person residing in the United States, as a Middle Beltan residing in the United States. You don't need to be a Biafra to join us. Installed in Nigeria, the 5G issue, like Nnamdi Kanu said, of course, everybody who is sensible should know that for now there has been a conspiracy theory and there has been a criticism of the 5G network. 5G network is a very good development, it's a very good technology, but it cannot be accepted if it poses if it poses danger to human existence. So of course nobody want to accept that until it has been tested and know that there is no harm to human existence. Then we can all accept 5G. For now, until these rumors, according to them, these rumors and this conspiracy is put to rest by a very well verifiable research and evidences that it doesn't pose any danger, then of course everybody will accept it. But when this conspiracy started all the way from developed world, from the United Kingdom, people are against it, burning the towers and all that, and from the Netherlands, the birds are dying. According to them, some people see that birds are just flying and they die from the air because of according to the radiation and all that. So if those kind of thing is being installed, nobody will accept it. Of course, nobody wants the population to die, but it's a matter of time. The people will work on it and to see whether if that is true. If that is true, of course, no government will want this to put the citizen in danger. For example, in the Western world, in the Western world, who are going to adopt this 5G network, the population in the Western country is very low, and no government, no country in the Western world, especially in Europe, will want its population to reduce. Every country want the population to grow. So if they are adopting 5G in the Western world, in Europe to be precise, then and they know that it doesn't pose any danger to the citizens, then of course it's a welcome development. But if it poses a danger to the citizen, of course, considering the fact that in some of the European countries have very low population and they want to grow their population, and it doesn't make sense to bring something that will reduce the population of the people of your country. So we have to, the 3G issue is something that needed time to investigate, to know actually what is happening, because you never know. Some people may be not happy because the person who first of all who reviewed this 5G conspiracy theory was a man who was working with one of the telecom company, and he reviewed how dangerous it is and all that. So of course the thing went viral, and people should be able to know. But it is for the government to now come and tell the citizens, from verifiable facts and well-researched analysis, how does this 5G work and what kind of danger it poses to human existence and all that. Nobody will accept anything that is going to kill people, especially elderly people. So that is what I have to say on the 5G network now. But for now, we are focusing on Nigeria disintegration, and nothing is holding us back. So join me tomorrow as this awareness continues, and we will continue to expose Nigeria, and the international community will continue to sideline Nigeria, and Nigeria is dead already. Nigeria is dead. And for those of you who are saying international community are keeping quiet, you can see they are not keeping quiet. A lot of things are being done, and it doesn't work that way you just want it. It doesn't work like that. Everything is gradual process. This is 21st century. We have to have patient. International community are working, and what is happening in Nigeria now, by the time we will start, nobody will be against us. So join me tomorrow, and I call it a day with Biafra national anthem.